There have been many dramatic European Cup finals that have gone down in history, such as Manchester United's comeback in the dying seconds against Bayern Munich in 1999, or Liverpool's comeback from 3-0 down against AC Milan in 2005. But there has never quite been a European Cup final like the 1960 edition between Real Madrid and Eintracht Frankfurt. In an incredible final, 10 goals were exchanged between the two sides, as the cup was settled in a manner we are unlikely to ever see again. This is the story of Real Madrid versus Eintracht Frankfurt, the greatest final in European Cup history. Real Madrid had a monopoly over the early years of the European Cup, having won the first 4 finals going into the 1960 final. Miguel Munoz's side contained the likes of Ferenc Puskás, Alfredo Di Stefano and Francisco Gento, having reached the final with wins over Younès Esch, Nice and Barcelona. Eintracht Frankfurt had reached their first ever final by defeating Young Boys, Wiener Sports Club, as well as blowing Rangers away with a 12-4 aggregate victory in the semi-finals. The stage was set for a much anticipated clash. Hamden Park would be the venue, and over 127,000 spectators were in attendance in Glasgow, and a further 70 million would watch the encounter live on TV. Having won the previous 4 titles, many expected Real Madrid to take home a 5th, but due to their thrashing of Rangers, some gave Frankfurt a chance to perhaps sneak an upset. The game kicked off as the European champions would be decided. The match started slowly, and on the 18th minute, Frankfurt won the ball. Irving Stein crossed the ball into the box, and it was headed in by Richard Kress to give Frankfurt the lead. Frankfurt's advantage was short-lived, however. In the 27th minute, Di Stefano would be on the end of a cross to equalise for Real Madrid. And only 3 minutes later, a rebound fell to Di Stefano, who fired the ball into the net and scored his and Real Madrid's second. The momentum was now with Los Blancos going into half-time. Ferenc Puskás blasted a shot in from a tight angle just before half-time to make it 3-1. The advantage was with the Spaniards now, but the goals had only just begun. The teams came out for the second half, ready to continue to entertain. In the 56th minute, Gento was fouled in the box, and a penalty was awarded to Real Madrid. Puskás took a long run-up and placed the ball into the net to get his second and Real Madrid's 4th. But Real Madrid were by no means done yet. A lovely piece of link-up play between Gento and Luis del Sol saw a cross delivered into the middle by Gento. And in the middle was Ferenc Puskás, who headed the ball in to seal his hat-trick. Real Madrid came forward once again. Gento played the ball across the box to Puskás, who had his back to goal. The Hungarian turned on the spot before firing a shot into the top corner. Puskás now had 4 and Real Madrid had 6. But Frankfurt would finally be able to respond in kind. Stein would net in the 72nd minute to give Frankfurt something to smile about, but almost immediately Real Madrid came forward once again, whilst the Frankfurt players were only just getting back in position. Di Stefano advanced forwards with the ball in acres of space. On the edge of the box, he hit a shot, and it found its way into the bottom corner. Di Stefano now had a hat-trick of his own, and Real Madrid had a magnificent 7. There was time for one more goal to take the game's tally to double figures. In the 75th minute, Stein intercepted a back pass before putting the ball beyond Dominiquez in the Real Madrid net, making it 7-3. 15 minutes later, full time was blown. Real Madrid had sealed their 5th consecutive European Cup in unprecedented style, blowing Frankfurt away with their beautiful and clinical play. People were amazed at what they had seen, having witnessed football history before their very eyes. Real Madrid vs Eintracht Frankfurt is without a doubt the greatest final in the history of the European Cup. It was a thriller that displayed the footballing genius of Gento, Di Stefano and Puskás, and there is unlikely to ever be a final that comes close to such levels of entertainment. Real Madrid blitzed their way through the game to show why they had won the competition 5 times in a row, but Frankfurt deserve credit too fighting admirably and becoming the first ever German team to reach a European Cup final. The match was a phenomenal spectacle and was a key moment for the popularity of the European Cup. The match set records that are unlikely to ever be broken, with 10 goals in a European Cup final, an attendance of over 127,000, and the result of a 5th successive European crown for Real Madrid. The 1960 European Cup final was one of the greatest games of football ever played, and in the immeasurable amounts of matches that have happened before and since, there has never quite been another encounter such as bizarre, entertaining, and unique.